is my first time doing something like this, I wanted to talk about my journey with kidney disease and my journey being a kidney transplant recipient. So I wanted to do this as a bit of a getting to know you video. So I was born 1995 in New Delhi in India, and my family decided to immigrate in 1997 to Sydney, Australia. So I'm Ria. Hi. I'm the only child of two immigrant parents. My mum is a statistician and my dad is my dad is an accountant. He works in finance. So the first few years for me was difficult. I'm an only child, so I went from having loads of people around me in India to when we migrated, including my cousins, my aunts and uncles, all of them, to having just my family, my mum, my dad, and my grandpa. And so I wanted to talk about kidney disease. And when we came here, it was hard because we had no one around us. And then my mum noticed that one day I was gaining weight quite rapidly. I was too big as a baby to be carried around. So she took me to the pediatrician and they actually diagnosed me with minimal change disease or nephrotic syndrome. So at the age of 2.5, I was diagnosed with kidney disease, and it's known as nephrotic syndrome. If people don't know what it is, it's basically kidney disease, and the type that I had, which is known as nephrotic syndrome, is when your body's immune system basically goes haywire and starts attacking itself. It's known as an autoimmune system because it is your system is unable to recognize is unable to work properly, and so it turns on itself and it starts to scar the kidney. So that's what was happening, and so the body's system basically just goes out of whack, which is what happened. Your kidney starts to get scarred, and because it's getting scarred, it stops working. So what they do is they treat it with medication. So I was on a medication called prednisone, very high doses. If you don't know what prednisone is, it's actually a steroid, and it makes you gain weight because you're always hungry. So prednisone is a steroid, and what it does is it increases your appetite, makes you hungry, and therefore gain weight. So I was this chubby little brown girl who couldn't dance, who couldn't play sport, who couldn't do any of the normal things kids do. But it was also very hard because I was always hungry too, because it increases your appetite. Corticosteroids put pressure on your system, and they also increase your appetite, but they also make you gain weight. So it's a vicious cycle. So you are starving, but you can't eat because it's making you gain weight even more. So it's very hard at that time for me as a kid. So then when I turned 12, things actually took a turn for the worse. My kidneys ultimately failed. They just stopped working. And I was told I would need a kidney transplant. Obviously, there's a waiting time involved. Since I was 12, the wait time was actually a year. In the meantime, I was put on peritoneal dialysis. So what happens with dialysis is a machine is used to clean your blood. So your kidneys are not working. So what happens is there's a machine that does what the kidney is supposed to do. It's artificially working like a kidney. So you need to be hooked up to this machine because it's doing what what a kidney is, a kidney's job is meant to be doing. So I had a surgery where they put a tube into my belly, known as a catheter, and that connected me to this machine so that every night I could have my body filtered of toxins and waste products, because my kidney was not doing that normally. So my mum was the person doing this whole thing for me, and she would connect me up every night before bed and then disconnect me in the morning before school. So it was a very big process, very big thing, and I was doing it the whole time when I was only 13. And then November 11th, 2008, my life completely changed, because that was when I got the call that a kidney was available and I had my surgery. The surgery actually took 6 hours and I was still on dialysis because just because you've had your surgery doesn't mean that you will automatically be okay. Yes, it was amazing, but for me, it took me about 4 weeks it took me that long before my body actually accepted the kidney. So even though I had a transplant, my body wasn't accepting the organ and it wasn't working yet. So I was very stressed for that time, and we were all very stressed, and so I was still on dialysis for that long, for about 4 weeks. But ultimately, yes, the kidney did accept. Since my surgery, my life has completely changed. I've been completely changed, and my life has changed totally. I have been so blessed for this. I finished high school, graduated uni with a degree. I've graduated uni with a degree in graphic design. I've been able to move out of home, do all the things that I want to do, mostly, and even just a little day-to-day things, eat whatever I want to, even if it's just a cold glass of water, just a small thing like that. You take it for granted because I could never have those things as a kid, eat lollies as a kid, small things, and go traveling, meet people. My life has completely changed. So that's my story, and I wanted to just talk about it a little bit and hope that if anyone's watching this, I'm always here, and I wanted to talk about it so that if there's another person, if there's anyone else watching, please reach out. I'm always happy to help, always happy to talk to people, and I'm always happy to talk about my condition, because I think it's such a big thing to connect to people, and it's such a big thing that has happened, but it's also a great way. Talking to people, you hear other people's stories too, and it's such a great way to connect, to know that you're not alone. So reach out, subscribe if anyone's here and watching. Please subscribe to this, or just message me if you want to. Thanks. Bye.